Okay.
How's it going? This is Jay Nanda, San Antonio Metal Music Examiner here at Backstage Live San Antonio, where the guys from Metal Church are going to be headlining tonight, a very special show, the return of Metal Church, and I have the pleasure right now of being here with original guitarist and band founder, Mr. Kurdt Vanderhoof. How you doing?
Doing great, man.
Great to see you. Yes, absolutely. I know you guys have been, God, the tour started, what, a week ago, Valentine's Day?
Barely a week ago. We can go tomorrow.
How does it feel to be back on the road and landing here in Texas?
To be back on the road, it feels good to not be driving at the moment. So we had a long drive, but no, it's great to be out playing again, especially great to be back here in Texas.
Now,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, when was the last time you've been here? Do you recall any special memories or?
Oh God, the last time we were here, where did we play? I don't remember the name of the club, but I remember it's been a long time. It's been a good 10 years or so at least.
Yeah.
But I do remember the first time we were here with the Cameo Theater.
Okay.
In like '85.
Yeah, wow, going way back there.
Yeah.
So Metal Church obviously has a big history with San Antonio, and more to the point of their current history, they just released last October, Generation Nothing, 10th album right here.
Yep.
Very good hard rock and heavy album, especially love the first two songs, Bulletproof and Dead City, just really set the tone for this disc.
Cool.
Lets people know, especially those of you who may not have been listening to Metal Church for quite a while, that these guys are back in a big way. Kurdt, let me ask you, as far as, when you went into the studio, what was the objective as far as, obviously, putting out a heavy album, songs that rock, but more to the point, your frame of mind as a band, what were you thinking going in?
Well, when we decided to get back together, the appeal was that we decided to do it all ourselves this time. We were trying to do things old school way with record labels and, that kind of thing, and everybody knows it's a new music industry now. So just the whole fact that we decided to do everything ourselves and put it out on my label with the help of Rat Pack Records, and that made the whole appeal a lot more exciting, and I think that came out in the music. Yeah. Definitely wanted to kind of be conscious of having it sound like old Metal Church, but yet update it so it sounds like a current record. So kind of new old Metal Church.
Right. And of course, Ronnie Monroe is the vocalist. He's been in the band for the last 4 albums, I believe.
Yep. This is
and of course, Metal Church has had its history with singers in the past, great guys in the band from the late Dave Wayne to Mike Howe, and of course now Ronnie. When Ronnie first joined the band, when you were going through that time period, as the founder of the band, as the leader, I know it's always a challenge to strike that balance between finding a guy who sounds somewhat similar to the previous guys, but I know there's got to be a part of you that says, man, I don't want 100% clone.
Oh, no, exactly.
Can you just talk about the dynamic, how challenging that is for you?
Well, that was kind of, finding him was kind of the inspiration for getting the band back together in the first place. Because when I heard his voice, he could do the Mike Howe stuff, he could do the David Wayne stuff, but yet still had his own voice. So that was it was the perfect combination.
Right.
So, and that was kind of the inspiration for again, like I said, getting the band back together. So after meeting him, it was like, wow, we could probably really do this stuff justice, and yet continue as well.
Right.
So.
And to take you back to 2009, I remember just logging onto your website one day and just being shocked that you had announced that the band was quitting. And of course, it's been documented that you guys had a lot of record label problems. You may have had some health problems along the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was the big reason we stopped was, like I said, we were trying to do it old. We were just running it to the ground.
Right.
We were trying to do it the old way. Now when we sell a record, we know it. We're not getting big advances from record companies anymore. But when we sell a record, we get the money for it. We put it out when we want. We put the songs on there that we want. We make the cover the way we want. And we do it completely our way. So doing it the other way was great in the 80s and 90s, but it's a different ballgame now. Mm-hmm. So, now we're kind of embracing the new music industry and doing it completely at our pace. Mm-hmm. So, and that's why we stopped. We stopped so we didn't burn it ourselves out so bad that we never wanted to get together again. Yeah. And we knew when we stopped that we would eventually work together again.
I was about to ask that because, it was, from a fan standpoint, it was kind of hard to decipher. When a fan reads that, they're like, "Oh my God, the end is here," and you wonder what's going to happen with the guys, and you're cursing the industry as a fan as well for being that reason. Yeah. So just kind of talk a little bit more about the main aspect, the main factor for getting it back together and everything that's happened since then that leads you to the show tonight.
Yeah, well, just basically the fact that we could get back together on our terms and do it, because none of the reason we stopped had nothing to do with internal stuff between the band. That was all fine. But just really doing it our way, you know, that was the inspiration. Getting some offers, we got the offer to do the 70,000 tons of metal cruise, which we thought would be a really good place to kind of come back. You know, something very unique, something very different, especially for us to play on a cruise ship. You know, so it just kind of, it was kind of like the stars were aligning, and we all talked very briefly. We want to do this, yeah. It took like that long for us to all decide to do it. You know, let's do it like this, and let's do some shows, and let's make the best record possible that we could.
And it came out killer. And you were very good at segueing into my questions, because I was on the first two 70,000 tons of metal cruises.
Oh, great. Yeah.
The 1 year that I don't go, you guys are on there. So, and the fact that I know you play, you know, every band plays 2 sets. There's like 40 bands on a cruise ship for 5 days. The best time of my life, especially when it's over your birthday, like it was for me. And I know one set you played the entire debut album, the first album.
Yep.
And the second set was a mixture of songs voted on by fans.
Basically, yeah.
Just
a greatest not hits.
Yeah, just general speaking, what was your impression? What was the experience like for you guys?
On the ship?
Yes, how was it?
It was amazing. I mean, it was certainly a different venue. The strangest thing for me was when we're playing, and the ship starts moving just a little bit. And you kind of think you're going to fall over, then you stop for a second. Wait, no, it's because we're out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
You know, and it just moves just a little bit, you know, and it's raining or blowing, and so that was a little bit different. And also kind of just looking out from the stage, seeing that out there was a little bit strange. But then also being on there with all these great bands and a lot of people, old friends, and it was such a very unique thing. And I'm really glad it's getting really popular again.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't know how superstitious you are, but when you're out there playing in the middle of the ocean, did you guys?
We didn't do Bury That Scene.
No, I was going to ask Rest in Pieces about
we didn't do that one either. We didn't do either one of those.
I just had to ask. I've been curious about that for a long time. And you know, I know somewhere on VHS I have the MTV interview you guys did on Headbangers Ball. I believe.
Oh, with Craig.
You and Mike Howe.
No, I was Duke.
It was Duke and Mike. Okay, with
he was the other bald guy.
With Adam Curry, yes. Yeah. And it was talking about one of my favorite songs, because the Blessing in Disguise album has such great lyrics with Fake Healer and Rest in Pieces. What do you look back on when you think about the 80s and just the road that you have traveled with, the ups and downs with this band? What sticks out the most?
Oh, boy. Well, you know, it was the lineup changes was one of the things, you know, and the tumultuous history we have. You know, my decision to leave to basically learn how to make records and engineer and produce, but still working with the band, you know, in songwriting and in the studio. That and just kind of, you know, I don't want to sound like it's, you know, like, oh, we should have been here, because we get that a lot. It's like, oh, you guys should be up there, because it used to be the Big Five. You know, and because of all the lineup changes, things like that, we kind of fell along the wayside. That doesn't bother me, because that makes perfect sense. Why? Sure. But we hear that a lot, so I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of fond memories, but there's a lot of stuff where there's a lot of bad business decisions made too, which had a lot to do with derailing the career of the band, and just a lot of that kind of stuff that's just, you know, the luck of the draw. You know, and we tried to do the best records that we could, but, you know, the lineup changes was, you know, the killer. But that's our history. We just happen to be that band. Yeah. You know, so we're just one of them that has, you know, tons of members. So. And
you're definitely making new history, hopefully, with Generation Nothing. You know, like I said, go out and get it off Rat Pack Records, and thanks to those guys for setting up this chat. Any final thoughts? Have you had any free? I know I saw the picture of the blown tire on the bus. So, and I believe that was from Arizona, or coming from Arizona.
That was on the way here.
Have you guys had any free time to enjoy the city at all?
Not yet.
Have you done it so in the past?
Here, definitely.
What do you like the most about San Antonio?
The Riverwalk and Lone Stars. And I remember having a big bucket of Lone Stars and a big, huge steak down by the Riverwalk the first time we were here. It was like, that really made us feel like we were in Texas, especially San Antonio.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Kurdt. It's been a pleasure. Been a big fan of yours for many years.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to the show tonight. Enjoy your time here in San Antonio.
We will.
For Kurdt Vanderhoof and the rest of Metal Church, go check them out on tour. They're coming to your town. J9 to San Antonio, Metal Music Examiner. Don't hang them out to dry. Hold them up high.